Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the 69th episode of Stateside Report UK. I'm your host, Stateside Gap. With me today, as always, just seen him less than 24 hours ago as well, in the flesh, Mr. OKC, Mr.
Can't get rid of this guy.
Made his radio debut as well, by the way.
Satellite, man.
Stateside.
Satellite.
How
Was I doing backflips inside? Sure. I mean, let alone me on TV.
Matey, don't worry. The clips haven't landed yet. They'll land. Don't you worry about that, matey. Don't you worry
When they
about
come out the oven hot and fresh, the oven.
There you
I'm
go.
losing it.
There you go.
When they come out the oven hot and fresh,
What are you telling me?
send them over. I want to consume it
how
when it's hot. I want to burn the roof on my mouth consuming that content when it's hot and fresh out of the oven. I mean it.
Oh, bloody hell. You don't want it piping cold. Pipe out today.
Hot, scorching.
There we go.
So that's what I'm saying.
How are we?
Yeah, overall, great weekend. I mean, and the nation's capital. And we rounded it off nicely. Going to NBA London. So, yeah. I guess, obviously, we're going to talk about it as well. So
yeah, we'll talk about it shortly, man. It's been a great weekend. Seen some old faces, some new faces. Seen some of you guys as well. Saw shout out to Paige as well. We saw her in the Foot Locker section, hosted Hostess. She was doing well as well. So shout out to Paige. Shout out to the people that we saw. Got some great interviews and spoke to some NBA fans that we will share with you over the next week or so. But in general, if I may say so, successful weekend is what
100%.
But we'll just get straight into it because I want to talk about what we saw, but we have to get into the headlines doing the NBA rants at the minute. The Thunder's Jalen Williams is out indefinitely from a hamstring injury. Return is to be decided.
My heart breaks.
Steve Kerr does not think there is any way another team is going to break the Golden State Warriors 73-9 regular season record. And Sam Hauser shot 31 threes versus the Atlanta Hawks. He scored 30 points and made 10 out of 21.
It was 21 threes.
20. I'm tripping. 21 threes, 10 made, no other field goals. 31 threes. Can you imagine that, by the way? Jesus Christ.
That's what I'm saying. Just hoofing it up.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that shortly, by the way. I saw some of the highlights, so we'll talk about that shortly. But we'll start off with some, your weekly OKC. Jalen Williams, still looking good, breath.
It was against the Heat. I was watching a close game. I think he done like a little Euro step into the lane, kind of landed a bit wrong. Once he grabbed the back of his thigh. I thought Saka against Crystal Palace. I lost that. I had to hold on to Saturn. I was like, oh no, this can't be. It's like Uncle Ruckus, bro. I lost it. I was like, bro, this guy's missed the first 20 games with this whole wrist thing. I mean, he's been struggling with trying to get some sort of rhythm into his game. Slowly but surely, you're seeing like him just getting rhythm, and all of a sudden, another hamstring injury. So it's very disappointing. I mean, with OKC, it's a next man up mentality. Do you know what I mean? We've played a lot of games. Like I said, we won a lot of games. We only lost, one game in the first 22, 23 that he missed. We still need him. But, it's one of those ones, next man up mentality. We hope the hamstring strain that they've called it isn't too serious. And he can come back sometime after the All-Star break, probably 4 to 6 weeks sort of thing. But yeah, we definitely will need him to try and get into some sort of rhythm as well, going into the playoffs, because he'll be important for us. He's someone that's capable of scoring 40 points in the finals. You need that on the court.
He's been catching a little bit of criticism from what I saw, just in regards to, look, you started off so well. So obviously, not his fault per se, but when he came back, there was a noticeable drop, I guess, in the team's form per se. But obviously, that coincided with him coming back as well. If I may say, he's in a great situation in regards to, look, he's injured at the minute, and that's unfortunate. However, with how strong OKC are, and like you say, kind of next man up mentality, the way the system is, and how good of a player Shea is to, carry a lot of the scoring load as well, by the way. They can afford not to rush him back, play him when it's probably not necessarily the right thing to do, because you see with hamstring and calf injuries, you don't want to mess around with those, you just want them to deal with it, let nature do what it needs to do, and just let them heal naturally, If you rush J-Dub or try to force him back earlier than you need to, as you said, you need him, and if you did that, that's not, the right way to deal with or prevent those kind of injuries from happening again. So, like I say, I think he's in the perfect situation, and you guys don't have to worry too much in the short term because you guys know what you're doing over there, don't you?
Exactly. There's no one better than steadying the ship like Shea. I mean, as we were just talking before we started recording, 114 games in a row with 20 plus points. Just what second behind Will Chamberlain. If you're in records with Will, or you're being compared with Will, then that means you're doing something good. But like I said, in terms of like steadying the ship, consistent performances, know that you can count on him with at least 20 points. Semi-decent defense, do you know what I mean? With the level of offensive load that he has to carry, you're going to win a lot of games still, with or without Jalen Williams.
Absolutely, absolutely. This was an interesting one that I saw just today, actually. Steve Kerr has been speaking, and he says that he does not think there is any way another team will break the Golden State Warriors 73-9 regular season record. Interesting, just because OKC this season, where we just mentioned how hot of a start they made, and there was a lot of talk in regards to, well, we only saw it a few years ago, well, 10 years ago now, we could say, but we could see it again, we could see a team that could smash a regular season record, maybe a playoff record as well, because they were, firing on all cylinders. But Steve Kerr's come out and said, that took a lot out of us. We saw it in the playoffs where it's like, we're going deep into a lot of series, and obviously in the finals we ended up not getting a championship, partly because probably we gassed ourselves out a lot trying to chase that regular season record. So, we spoke about OKC trying to get it this year. I can imagine there's going to be teams in the future that's going to have that sort of, aura, maybe not in the short term, but in the long term, 100%, I'd like to think. But do you agree with Steve Kerr? This Golden State Warriors record will just never be beaten. Surely not.
Mathematically speaking, if we win all our games for the rest of the season, the record is ours. Mathematically speaking. But to be serious about it, bro, it's difficult to do. It's hard to do. You have to walk into games knowing that we've already won. Sorry, how we're gonna win doesn't really matter. But we've won the game. You have to have that, like you mentioned, aura, as the kids want to call it. You have to have that aura about you that the other team is gonna come out the tunnel knowing that we're losing this game. We just have to try our best, and you kind of use this as practice for the next game and try and take the positives out of it. But it's hard to do. I mean, as I watched OKC go 68-14 last season. And bro, I'll turn on my stream and I know we've already won. I'm just trying to find out how we won. You know what I mean? Not to brag, but that's just how it is. You know what I mean? Same with this season, not with the. It's difficult. Well, crux of the whole thing is just very difficult to do. You know what I mean? We're on 30 something and 8, and we're already just past the halfway point of the season. Like I'm saying, if we have to win out for the rest of the season, which is obviously unrealistic, it just goes to show what the Warriors were doing in 2016. That had a hater in me because that team just will not lose, and the fact that we dropped a 3-1 lead to them just made it even more. It just made it worse. But it'll be very interesting to see what team actually gets close to that. But it's hard to do. It's hard to do. Very hard to do.
It's very hard to do. And he's not. I don't think Steve Kerr is wrong in the emphasizing the amount of effort and the amount of how locked in you need to be chasing a type of record like that. However, never again. There's never and never again when it comes to a record. Records are made to be broken, in my eyes.
Bro, you can be locked in. But if you don't have Steph, Clay, Draymond, KD, bro. Well, KD wasn't there actually, but if you don't have Steph and Clay and Draymond and Iggy, bro, you need the talent as well to do it. You can be locked in as much as you want, but if you don't have the talent on the roster, you're not doing it. It's not happening. Losing 9 games out of 82.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen next season or this season, but it could happen. It could happen in my eyes.
I don't think it's too important. I don't think it's too important to really beat that record. Obviously, it's fun to say "Whoa, the record's been broken." But if you don't win a ring outside of it, because that's the expectation.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You're expected to replicate what you're showing in the regular season in the playoffs. And if you're putting so much effort and task into the regular season wins, you better not waste them too much in the regular season because you need them in the playoffs.
Yeah, well, speaking of not wasting, the ammunition is what I would say Sam Hauser had in his arm the other night versus the Atlanta Hawks. 30 points, explosion, not by going to the rim, not by shooting middies, not by getting to the free throw line. straight trade
Launching it.
balls. Hey, 10 for 21, Fez, you know. And I'll get into it shortly in regards to the question I have for you. But I saw it and on fire for most of the game until the fourth quarter hit. I think he hit his last one like relatively early into the fourth quarter. And he was on a good percentage as well, by the way. I think he was like 10 for like 15, 17, something like that. And then after that, he was just chucking. You know, I ain't going.
Didn't have the legs underneath him.
Yeah, he probably gassed himself out. You know, he's a role player. He don't play that many minutes anyway. But, you know, still a very good night by anybody's standard. Even Steph Curry would take a night like that, to be honest with you.
Facts.
It's not a joke. But the question I have for you is that me and you were talking about this over the weekend, actually. And he somehow, in my eyes, caught some flack for, you know, shooting this many threes and getting this this amount of points by just shooting tray balls, haram ball or you know, unethical hoops. I'm not hearing any of that. There's no way, surely, because it was unethical for Shea to drive to the paint all game and just get his points at the free throw line. It was unethical for somebody to catch the ball in the post in the mid 2000s like Carmelo Anthony and play isolation ball, you know, for 48 minutes. So I'm sorry, we can't be just moving the goalpost whenever we feel like it. You know, we were going to talk about it later, and we've spoken about it just, you know, previously in regards to consistency. But let's have some in regards to what we like and what we don't like. If this is the area of basketball that we're in, and if somebody wants to shoot, you know, 40, I don't know what the maths is here, but let's just say for 45% for free, for argument's sake. If somebody's going to do that, peak efficiency, win the game, hit 30 points as well, what's the problem? Stateside up. What's the problem?
Initially, I had a problem with it. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like, why is there no variation to your game? Why are you only shooting threes? I mean, when you look at this, the stats, well, it jumped out to me like he was just chucking up threes. Then again, I was box score watching. You know what I mean? I was box score watching, so I'll admit that. But then you made a comment that, you know, he has a role in this Celtics team. You know what I mean? He's paid to shoot threes. Sam Hauser's paid to shoot threes. So if he's shooting, 21 threes, that's what he's paid to do. So I'm like, so then I concede to the fact that, you know what, you might be right on this one.
And the Celtics shoot a lot of threes anyway.
That's what I'm saying. And if he's making, 10 of 21? I don't know what the percentage on, but I know that's close to 50.
Right now for you, big man. How about that?
Get out the calculator.
You know what I mean? Because if it's not for the calculator, I would have failed enough. 100%, man. Do you know what I mean? 48% for free.
There we go then.
If somebody shot 48% for free for the whole season, they got the record, by the way.
Facts. Easily.
So,
didn't Curry make 45?
I think Curry's. I'm going to search that now for you, actually. I think Curry's record all time is 44%. I might be wrong.
In 2016, did he not make, was it not 45?
Let's have a look. Steph Curry record 3-point percentage is if I see Curry's NBA stats, it is 45% in 2016. Is that 45?
Right.
Yeah, 45%. Yeah, 45.4% if I'm being exact. Oh, he had a 44.5% in 2012. Fair enough. Didn't even know that.
2012.
Yep. He played 26 games.
Wow, we count those.
You know.
We count those.
But still, 45%.
Right.
What? That's a mad thing. On his volume as always a mad thing, by the way, which is why he's the greatest shooter to ever live, because 45% on his volume of shots and his shot diet as well in regards to, you know, how he's getting it done. Fairs, you know. But 48% and people are turning their nose at that.
You can't. It
can't be me. I'm sorry.
Even me, when I'm wrong, I admit it. Do you know what I mean? Even me.
It took a lot for you to say it, but you know, when the facts are put in front of you, sometimes it's like, you know.
So saying, what did the kids say? Double accountability. Whatever that means. You know when the unks try to speak like the
literally, bro. We're just unks trying to get with the lingo, man. You know.
Hey, when I see that I'm wrong at something, I just concede to the fact that, you know, fair enough. I mean, if you give me a chance to see from a different point of view, I'm open to do that.
There we go, man.
So shout out Sam Hauser, man.
Shout out Sam Hauser, indeed, man. Let's chat. Usually we do like a Western Conference, Eastern Conference preview review, but not today. Not today.
We're on a little freestyle thing, man.
You know what? NBA London, as we said at the top of the show, at the top of the podcast, at the top of the Stateside Report UK, it was great. You know, before we get into, like, you know, the real details of it, it's great to have basketball back in the country. again at the
Facts.
highest level. As we know, basketball, in terms of of professional organized UK circuits has been a mess for an extremely long time. The basketball federations, the BBL, and I can't even remember. I think the basketball federation, whatever the case is, they've been
Mm.
beefing for a long time, and unfortunately, it's meant that the UK teams that have the players and they want to play and they want to showcase their talent, just as they do across the continent, haven't been able to do that. And that's really unfortunate. It's really sad. I like to think that things are going to be improved, especially with NBA Europe picking up steam and hopefully becoming a thing in the next couple of years. But as I was saying, it's just nice to have NBA hoops in this country for the first time in 7 years, since 2019. It's great.
Mm.
It's fantastic. And people were turning their nose a little bit in regards to the teams that's come, the Orlando Magic and the Memphis Grizzlies. However, to start it off, Stateside Humph, I was very happy and surprised that John Morant played. You know,
And he played
um,
well as well.
he played extremely well, best player on the court by a mile, and he said it. I saw an interview that shout out to JD Dyer. He's one of the best out there that's doing it at the minute. He caught up with John Morant at the end of the game, and he said, the love that I've been getting in this country, all the nonsense that's been circling around my name and trade talks and all of this, I needed it. I needed what was, what came to be a great night for his team, himself, the Memphis Grizzlies, and of course himself. So to see John Morant and to see a lot of the love that he was getting in the UK, to see all the 12 jerseys when we were walking around the O2 and when we were in the NBA house as well, it was great to see, man. So were you as surprised as me to see John Morant play?
I was, what I mean? Because I was thinking when I saw John, like the team come out, come to Berlin, I think it was before they came to the UK. I was thinking, why is John on the plane? I mean, the guy hasn't played for a long time. Like, it's not like he's gonna play. I mean, he didn't play in Berlin, so I'm like, he's not gonna play in the UK, surely, right? But then obviously, like you said, we went to the NBA house and we're seeing like his new range of like Nike shoes and stuff like lined up and stuff. It's like you can't bring your merchandise over to the UK and not play. I mean, honestly, so it's like he almost owed it to his fans overseas. Do you know what I mean? Which obviously we found out that he has a lot of them. You know what I mean? He owed it to his fans to perform, to show out, and actually put out a good performance, which we know Jar's capable of doing. I mean, I always sit on here and say, disappointed in Jar. I feel like he's kind of regressed. Well, I feel like he's regressed a lot. I feel like players like Ant, Shea, amongst others, have almost lapped him a bit. But you see the talent there. You see the performance that you put out when I guess there's some. I know it's a regular season game, but there's some level of expectation from his fans overseas. Like, oh, first time seeing Jar in person. Like, what performance are we gonna see? He shows out. His team blows out the Magic by, I think, 30 points in the second quarter. Which so then again that then brings more, as we always say, it brings more casual fans to either the Memphis Grizzlies, Jar, or just the NBA in general. Do you know what I mean? As a spectacle.
Mm, exactly. It was like you said, 30 points by second quarter. I think they won by like 20, 25, 27 points
Yeah, it was a
in
blowout.
the end. Not even close. And me and you we were filming content throughout the day, so we weren't as locked in as most people were on the day of the event. However, it was interesting just because he looks like his moping about and the drama that's been around the Grizzlies. He's exactly what they're missing, and it just goes to show you that a locked in John Morant can still be a really, really good player for another team. So do you think, in a sense, that, because of how, big in terms of like a worldview, a market is London, is, with all the eyes that he knew was going to be on this game and all the love that he's been getting this week, do you think this was an opportunity for him? Or maybe he's looking at it this is an opportunity to put myself in the shop window here a little bit. If there's a team that maybe had the question marks, can I do it in a bigger market? Can I do it when there's a little bit more eyes and responsibility on me? Was this his opportunity to be like, watch this?
I mean, obviously, the topic of conversation we're having just before we started was consistency. Do you know what I mean? I feel like that's what Jar has to show in order to, I guess, increase his trade value. You know what I mean? Or just increase his value in general for the Grizzlies if he does end up staying there. Do you know what I mean? Because, like you said, we know and we've seen Jar put up these type of impressive performances, but if it's not on a consistent level, then these type of questions, these type of doubts are always going to be circulating in around Jar.
Yeah, man. There's. I think, like you said, I think he's put a lot of people on notice, kind of thing, in regards to the interest that's surrounding him and his name at the minute, and if they really want to take that plunge in regards to the player that they're bringing in. And they could see, by the way, the motion that he has, because as I was saying earlier, all the 12 jerseys and Orlando Magic jerseys, we were debating like, who are we seeing more? And I'm like, no, I'm seeing a lot of Memphis jerseys around. That 12 jersey holds a lot of weight.
Facts.
In regards to this country and what we're seeing. Commiserations to the Magic and what they put on tape. Unfortunately, weren't great. I'm not gonna lie. They had a few of their players back as well. I saw Franz has come back into the lineup. Obviously, I believe he was played in Berlin as well, so he's fairly just
homecoming, innit?
Yeah, you got to be ready for your home, from your home country. I know his family was there watching him.
Facts.
Yeah, I hope they weren't watching him in London though, because it weren't great from all of them, to be honest. Desmond Bain on his return to facing the Grizzlies weren't great. Not gonna lie, 1 from 4 from 3. I think he got 11 points. Not great. And it seems like the issues that they had last year in regards to their 3-point shooting, even bringing in the likes of Desmond Bain and, giving a lot of faith to Anthony Black. Shout out to him. He had a great game. And, Tristan da Silva, a lot of the other guys as well. They got some shooters on their roster. However, for whatever reason, like I said, kind of demons and gremlins that followed them all of last year have crept into this season. And it's a big reason why they're not struggling per se. They're a, middle of the pack team in the Eastern Conference. However, I expected them to be one of the better teams in the East. And because of, like I said, the gremlins that they had last year, it's just not happening for them this year.
I mean, that's spot on with what you're saying. I mean, when you look at the not downfall, but when you look at the inability for the Magic to really dominate games, to string runs of wins together, you look at the star player, you look at the number one pick, Paolo Banchero. Do you know what I mean? Since he's been in the league for a couple of years now, you're still waiting for that jump. You know what I mean? You're still waiting for him to dominate, for him to show the reason why they picked him number one. Obviously, you see little flashes here and there in these past seasons, but the Magic, as you said before the start of the season, you had him going to the conference finals at least, and that's winning what, 2 playoff rounds. I I don't see that in this team. I don't see that in the level of basketball Paolo Banchero is playing at right now. I don't know, maybe just me, but some might think otherwise. But when I look at this Magic's team, I'm still left wanting more.
As am I. As am I. And maybe the All-Star break is just what they need. Maybe they need to, see what the landscape is in the trade market. Maybe they have to have a look at what the coach is. I guess the question I have for you in regards to what can they do to, quote unquote, fix their season. What do you think the easiest thing is they can change between now and the end of the season? Do you think maybe it's a coaching change? Do you think they maybe need to make some trades? Do you think maybe the All-Star break is just what they need? What do you think it needs to happen for them to improve their season?
I mean, you might look at the All Star break being one thing because a lot of teams use that as like a like a reset button. Do you know what I mean? But when you look at this Magic's team, I mean, they've been showing you the same thing this whole time. So you're almost looking at it like something major has to change, whether it's with a coach, whether it's like another major trade, to really kind of change the fortune of this Magic's team and to take advantage of the opportunity that you have in this Eastern Conference. I mean, the two of the best teams last season, the Pacers and the Celtics, obviously they've lost Halliburton and Tatum. You're looking at the Magic. I mean, you're looking at the hype that they had coming to the season. They've been far off it. You're going to say?
Do you think there's a future for Franz and Paolo to work in the same team together?
I believe it when I see it. As of right now, my answer is no.
I have to agree with you, unfortunately, because like I said, that at the beginning of the season, one of these guys need to be all NBA for this team to go far. And unfortunately, whether it be due to injuries or poor play, which is mostly what it's been, it's tough to see what it is because they have very similar play styles and like they both kind of need the ball to be effective on offense. I'd like to think Franz is a little bit more of a better playmaker, whereas Paolo has a little bit more, skill, scoring touch, more has a base that's better than Franz, all 3 levels. However, it's tough because talent just doesn't grow on trees like that. If you want to get players of Franz and Paulo's ilk, you need to be at the bottom of the East and hope for a good draft pick. Because free agents aren't exactly walking to Orlando these days. So I don't know if the future is together. I don't know if they can figure it out. Like you said, I'm gonna have to wait and see because they made me look silly already. They don't look like they're making no conference finals as things stand right now. But in the future, they're gonna have to have some serious conversations. If you had to trade one, by the way, who'd you pick?
I mean, you have to trade Franz because you picked Paolo number one overall, so you have to stick with that. You have to stick with that. And I was actually gonna ask, um, like when I look at basketball teams, I see like a hierarchy. Do you know what I mean? I see the best player, second best, and then obviously the role players and stuff. Do you think it's a good thing? How can I word this? Do you think it's a good thing having a team where your top two players you don't know who the best player is
I know what you mean because,
in terms of
bro,
like a yeah, like the Celtics with Tatum and Brown and
yeah,
this Magic's team,
exactly, yeah. There was an argument last year when it was like Halliburton and Siakam as well
right?
on their way to the finals. I think that's okay when when you consider the personalities that are involved. You know, when you have, I can even take it back in the day when it was like a Shaq and Kobe situation. Once Kobe started to get into his own, unfortunately, the personalities that were involved meant that look, this is not going to be long term. This is going to be 3 years, 2 years. We're going to have our level, and then after that, we have to do something else because this is too combustible. You know,
You say Russ and KD, and I mean we all knew KD was better, but
yeah,
Russ's
no, but same thing though
personality, like you
because
said,
we could all say that KD is better than you, but Ross is like, sorry, no, we're
right?
not. We're like this, you
The
know.
personality
So like the
speaks
personalities
for
are
him.
so important when you have to think about these things. Magic fans will have to let us know really and truly. But outside looking in, it seems like I would like to think that Paolo's a little bit louder of a personality, just because
Mm.
of his play style, just how he is on the court, his demeanor. He talks a lot of trash as well. So I'd like to think that he feels himself a little bit more than. I'm not saying that France doesn't feel himself. I like to think he's a confident basketball player, of course.
Right.
But in regards to who's on court, off court, the leader of that team, I'd like to think is Paolo, and he carries himself in that way. So as long as there's either a good personality balance between those two, or there's a clear establishment of this is Paolo's team or this is Franz's team, then cool, maybe it can work. However, if there's not been that conversation, or if they still don't know where they sit on whatever side of the fence they are, then unfortunately they have problems, man. Unfortunately, they have problems. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum work so well because I believe both of them see themselves as, bro, we're like this. Even though I can say Jason Tatum is better, you can say Jaylen Brown is better. They're saying
Mm.
it's this. Russ and KD, we're saying, KD, Russ is saying. So everybody's talking, from a different place, but where it is, most important, it's not right. So hopefully they've had those kind of conversations. If not, they need to have them soon. Otherwise, they ain't doing nothing.
100%. And I mean, when I look at it with OKC right now, with J Dub and Shea, even though obviously the games are polar opposite, you can tell that there's a number one. Do you know what I mean? When you look at it, he's the best player. That's the leader of our team, and then we all follow him. We all feed off of that. And I think if you have a clear hierarchy, I guess within a team organization or whatever, it just makes your objectives and how to get to those objectives a lot clearer. If that makes sense.
Yes, it's easiest when it is like that. It's easiest when it's like that. But you have to have, like I said, the perfect blend of personalities to make sure that if it's not like that, then the personalities still blend and everything is still harmonious in the locker room. That it's not an issue. Nobody speaks about it unless it's the outside just trying to make some outside noise to try to disrupt the team.
Right.
But like I said, I still like the Magic, and I'm not going to hop off the bus, entirely. However, they have embarrassed me to start the season, so fix up your ideas.
You've put a lot of faith in this Magic's team that I don't know if they're worth it.
I'm looking for my Pistons of last year. They're supposed to be that. I know they set the bar high and stuff, but come on now, this is NBA, lads. Come on, you're supposed to be able to play ball.
I mean, it's All-Star break. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, a lot of teams use it as a reset. So
Mm,
I'm interested to see what team flips the switch going
yeah,
into the playoffs because
exactly.
there
But
will be a team or two.
for sure. But shout out to the Memphis Grizzlies, the Orlando Magic coming to the UK, and at least the Grizzlies anyway, putting on a show for the people. Shout out to John Morant for playing, showcasing his ability, because we know what he is. We know he's a superstar when he decides to be one.
Right.
And shout out to the Orlando Magic just for turning up. If that's Stateside Umph, shall we play a game?
Let's play a game. Let's do it.
I'm sticking with the UK trends at the minute because I'm trying to hold on to it for a little bit longer. You know, I like having basketball around. I like people talking to me about the game. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
As I said, you made your colourful debut with Anil Kandola, Luke Henry, the boys. You know, they tried to get you on the. Actually, they did get you on the MJ tip. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you now.
We grew up with LeBron. Do you know what I mean? We grew up with LeBron, so I was always going to pick LeBron. MJ, all I've seen is just highlights, which they're great highlights, but if we micro-analyze MJ's game like we're doing with LeBron and all these others, who knows?
You loved him so much. You didn't. You hate him so much. You wore a Chicago Bulls jersey to the interview.
MJ's still MJ, man. Do you know what I mean? That's Nike apparel. That's Gucci apparel, bro.
Oh, anyway, I've just closed my tab, so please bear with me because it was very important to the game they're about to play. Essentially, Stateside Up, I'm going to give you the most popular jerseys in the UK at the minute. Well, at least based on last year. Just to give you the top three, Luka Doncic, Stephen Curry, and LeBron James were in the top three. And there's a slew of other names on this list. In a this or that kind of question, or kind of format, I should say, whose jersey is more popular in the UK? Can you do that for me?
In the UK?
In the UK.
Okay.
Can you do that for me? Can you do that for the people?
This should be interesting. Let's do it.
Let's do this, man. Let's do this. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the number. You know, AI failing in this regard. But the list, I know, is very fluid because I remember seeing something that Luka was far and away number one. Whose jersey is more popular? SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, or Ja Morant?
It should be Shea, but it's Ja.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Ja Morant's jersey is more popular than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's.
Scandalous.
We saw it as well, by the way. We saw it, bro. I'm showing you the amount of 12 jerseys I saw. Damn.
What's Shea got to do, man? Huh? What's Shea got to do? Come, man. The light will shine on us, man.
Whose jersey is more popular? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Jason Tatum?
Tatum.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Jason Tatum's more popular in terms of jersey sales.
To see it.
SG.
What's going on? I just know it. But what, bro? Why don't, bro?
Is there a pattern here? I don't know, matey. How about we do the next one?
Shay's got me, man. I mean, as long as I'm a fan of two, man. No, I don't care about anything else.
How about we do the next one, man? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Nikola Jokic?
I mean, I'll probably say Jokic because Europeans as well. They'll probably like, yeah. Final answer. Multiple time MVP.
Nikola Jokic does not have more jersey sales than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He's next up on he's just below Shai on the list, actually. So there you go.
Still close, yeah.
No?
Wow.
That's all right.
I mean, I would have thought 3 MVPs, do you know what I mean? European player as well. I would have thought at least I would get him, but at least Shai had to be somewhere on the list.
Yeah, well, you know. Whose jersey's sale was... Who has more jersey sales in the UK? From last year, anyway. Anthony Edwards or Jalen Brunson?
Ooh. New York, big market, so doing well. But then, I don't know, I think... Give me Anthony Edwards.
Final answer.
Yeah, because then he changed his number from 5 to 1 as well. Or 1 to 5. Give me Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards does not have more jersey sales than Jalen Brunson.
Wow.
I
mean, it's not too much of a surprise though. To be fair,
yeah,
like I said, big market tax.
Yeah,
but then you see the boys that were interviewing yesterday as well. They talking about how they're big Anthony Edwards fans as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, then they were splitting hairs, but
yeah,
it's interesting to find out though. To be fair,
yeah, no, it's very interesting to find out what the consensus popular teams are, or players, I should say, in the UK. Just as a side note, do you want to rank the most popular teams 1 to 5 in the NBA? according to last year. And
Yeah,
gents,
let's do it.
do you want to? Would you like to give it a go?
Yeah, yeah. So probably looking at the most popular teams. Well, OKC got to be in there, surely.
Okay, you can give me 1 to 5.
1 to 5. I mean, in no particular order.
I'll give you the correct
Lake,
answer afterwards.
Lakers should be in there. The Knicks should be in there. Uh, Curry and Golden State. Put Golden State in there. Um, so OKC, Lakers, Knicks, Golden State, Boston.
How many teams was that? You said
So
Lakers,
Lakers, Boston, Knicks, Golden State, OKC.
Lakers, Celtics, Golden State, Knicks, Chicago Bulls. I'm telling you.
So I got all of them right, but the OKC Bulls.
Yeah. Okay, see, no.
What's the Bulls done in the last 30 years, man?
They just MJ's aura, as Anil told you yesterday. Colourful radio. Told you, matey.
To see it.
He told you. Game changers. He told you.
Fair enough, man. Bro, 30 years ago, man. Let's drop it now, bro.
You know what? Look, how about this? We'll chat some NBA bits and bobs. That's doing the news articles, the Bleacher Reports, the Athletics. All of our friends at the minute. We're talking about this. We're speaking about SGA and OKC at the minute. Actually, it's funny that I spoke about them because just off camera, you brought to me that there is a record that Shea is not even chasing. He's just naturally doing.
He's hunting down.
Yeah, 20 points. You could tell me the record probably better.
114 as of today. 114 and
games in a row.
Yeah, and the record is 126.
And there's a little bit of we could probably play the game, quote unquote, with this in regards to NBA fans and consistency, because it's just not what they want to see, is it? It feels like anyway. Shea's chasing this kind of record. We've had people like LeBron James over the last few years who've been at an elite level for 23 years, pretty much his whole career, right? And when these things happen, for whatever reason, it seems like fans get bored very, very quickly. When somebody's dominating for a few years, there's always who's going to be the team that's going to topple them, because I'm tired of seeing Steph Curry win or go to the finals every year. I'm tired of seeing LeBron go to the finals every year. And now in this case, Shea is going to be the latest and greatest person who's going to be victim to this. Oh, he scored 20 points, in these consecutive games. He's about to touch Will Chamberlain's status, as you just said earlier. But I don't care, and it's not right, is it?
It's not, because it's like we're saying, like the whole shiny new toy syndrome. Needing the newest flavor of the month, as you mentioned as well. It's not a good way to look at basketball, because at the end of the day, consistency is boring. You know what I mean? Let's just put it at that. But it's impressive. You know what I mean? It's still impressive, because if it's, and it's hard to do, because if it's easy to do, everyone will do it. You know what I mean? KD, one of the best scorers. Some people might say arguably the best scorer. I think his 20 plus point records are like 70 something. So with Shea doing it 114 times almost, that's it's ridiculous. And he does it so easily as well. Do you know what I mean? Looking at the coverages he's looking at, getting blitz, having to being double team, triple team, having to get the ball off his hands, having to score in different ways. Sometimes the shot is on, it's off, but then he just keeps doing the same thing over and over and over again. Such a smart basketball player. Do you know what I mean? He leverages his athleticism. His downhill pressure, as he's led the league in that 5 years in a row. It's hard to do. And like I said, when you look at this OKC team and you're scouting for them, as I mentioned, Shea is by far and away the best player. Do you know what I mean? So if you want to try and cut the head of the snake, as teams try to do over and over, and they seemingly can't, because we're winning all these games and Shea's dominating in all these games, you know what I mean, hunting down this record, it just speaks to the greatness of Shea.
How can you knock it? How can you knock it? I just can't see, unless people are just trying to be funny, which that's a lot of NBA fans, especially on social media these days. But you just can't, and I feel like you just have to appreciate greatness, especially when you're living in the moment and you're seeing it right in front of your face. Just me, of course, but people look at things differently, I guess, and can't force somebody to like it. Get that, but I think you can always have some sort of appreciation for when things are happening.
I think the more, I mean, it shouldn't really be like that, but the more accolades and stuff that he will eventually win is going to force people to respect him, or I guess hate him even more. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah. But if he keeps stacking MVPs and championships, oh, he'll definitely be hated more. Unfortunately for you and your team, because I'll be in that bandwagon. You know,
Ah,
can't lie.
I was saying it'll be sweeter this year. I think it'll be harder to win it this year, but when we do, it'll be sweeter because a lot of people would hate it. I mean, a
Mm.
lot of people would not have us winning it. So we'll see. We'll see. Shout out Shader, man. Do you know what I mean? Great player, all time great player.
Yeah, all timer. Um, the trade, because we're not playing trade machine today. However, the trade market is starting to pick up some steam, at least on the rumor mill in that regard. Trae Young, as we know, one of the only names to be traded so far this year. We're looking for some people to join in. We need something different to think about. Jonathan Kuminga has put in a trade request after being relegated once again to the bench, very similar to last year in regards to just falling out of favor in the Golden State hierarchy for whatever reason. Even though Draymond bigs him up in every single podcast episode, even though we hear the right things from Steve Kerr and all these guys to the media, from what I can see on the bench, from what I could see in all the other rumor mills, they just don't rate him for whatever reason. Another person who seems to be a quote unquote lock to be traded if rumors are to be believed is Michael Porter Jr. MPJ. All star in the making. By the way, I've said this from time. Stateside, when you look at these two players in particular, what's the likelihood, do you think, of these guys being traded in this, trade cycle before the trade deadline hits in the middle of February?
I mean, when we talk about these trade talks and stuff, I always kind of hint on what value do you bring to this team, or what value do you have that can be useful for a team in the playoffs, or for a team that's trying to turn the corner and be a serious team. I mean, when you look at Michael Porter Jr., his ability to shoot the free, as you're seeing his overall bag in terms of his playmaking as well, great size with defense. He does have championship experience, playoff experience, played a lot of big playoff games with Jokic and Denver. You want a player like that on your team. You know what I mean? There's almost like a lazy analysis on Michael Porter Jr. saying that, all he does is just chuck up shots. I mean, there's a smart basketball player in there when he actually taps into it. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, with his ability to shoot over tough contests as well, his ability to play in these big playoff games and actually provide value. If I'm a team that's going for a chip, why would you not trade for that? And in terms of Jonathan Kuminga, bro, you can literally take one of the tapes of our recordings in past episodes and literally just plug that in there. You know what I mean? The talks with Steve Kerr and Draymond, it almost comes across a bit performative to me, you know? You know what I mean? Like, they'll say the things that are supposed to sound good in, like, podcasts and interviews, but at the end of the day, bro, get him out of there. Get him out of Golden State. I've been saying this before the season started. You always ask me this in the off season, like what should Kaminga do? I'm like, bro, just cut your losses and just leave. There's always gonna be this talk in and around him. I mean, he won't have the peace of mind to really play his basketball and enjoy his basketball because there's always gonna be talk of, why is Kaminga not getting minutes? Why did you play him and then bench him the whole of the fourth quarter? It's just the same thing over and over again. So I just think with what he has in terms of his athletic ability, running the floor, I mean, attacking mismatches and stuff like that, you want to go to your own team and have the ability to make mistakes, learn about your game a lot more, and then I guess increase your value, or your trade value if you want to, get back to a team that's then contending. But I think a player like Kaminga, as we're looking at Trae Young going to the team like a Washington, stuff like that, I don't mind that. I don't mind it for him, but I think he should leave. He should leave Golden State.
Should definitely leave Golden State. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's only on a 1 year deal coming into this year because obviously they didn't want to pay him and probably couldn't find a trade partner in the off season, which is why he's still there. If they can find one, great, fantastic. If they don't, he's just going to walk in free agency. I don't see a world where he's returning to the team, no matter how much money they give him, probably at that point. Shame how it's turned out because he was a coveted draft pick. I know Draymond was showing the images of him and Bob Myers speaking about who can come into this Golden State situation and be drafted here. Him and Moses Moody were, the two people that they had their eyes on. But it hasn't worked out, unfortunately. So if I was them in regards to Kuminga, cut your losses, get something back for a young player that could command a draft pick or two, some other pieces back as well, and just move on, man. Try and get some pieces to hopefully get Stephen Curry another championship. And then in regards to Michael Porter Jr., same thing. Move him because your prerogative, unfortunately, probably should be lose as many games as you can to get a good draft pick. Get one of these highly touted, AJ DeBansers or Darren Petersons or whatever the case is. Give yourself a good chance to get a good player in the draft. Not to say that MPJ is a good player, but he's that good. He's winning your games. Can't be having that. He had a game winner the other day. I think it was against the Bulls. Can't be having that. Get as bad a record as you can to give yourself a good draft pick, and you can do that by getting MPJ out of there, and you can get some pieces back as well, some picks for the future. So, if both of these guys are on their respective teams by the end of this trade deadline, Porter on the Nets, and Golden State on the Warriors, I'll be surprised because both franchises missed a trick there.
No, that's literally all it is. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what it is. I've been impressed with MPJ's performance to start the season for sure. Better than I expected, to be fair.
Honestly, All Star. Telling you, Macy. I tried to tell you, tried to put you on. I have to be right.
You did.
I have to. It might not have been with Orlando. It's with MPJ. So, yeah.
A team like Orlando could do with an MPJ, to be fair.
Watch the space.
Right.
I'm telling you. How about All-Stars? Because the All-Star starters have been announced a few hours ago as we're recording this. I just want to get your reaction to both of these because, I mean, you can't... Can you get it wrong, I guess? I don't know. You'll let me know. In the East, the starters are Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jalen Brunson, Katie Cunningham, Tyrese Maxey, and Jaylen Brown. In the West, Nikola Jokic, Luka Doncic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Stephen Curry, and Victor Wembanyama. Is there any players that potentially got snubbed of being a starter in this game?
Not that I can think of. No one really jumps to me. Obviously, they're talking about LeBron starting, but he was never going to. Yeah. Obviously, he spoke about not wanting to be a starter.
Mm-hmm. Anthony Edwards, Donovan Mitchell. Could they have,
Anthony Edwards, possibly. It's just with Curry getting the All-Star starter votes. What did the kid say? Motion. It's what he has. Do you know what I mean? As long as Steph's still in the league, he's got motion. So when you're seeing him as an All-Star starter, and he has a lot of these fan votes, it's just the way the cookie crumbles. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised in that sense. Anthony Edwards, he will get his time of being, a perennial All-Star starter. You know what I mean? His game calls for that. So it's just a matter of time. But I don't think anyone's been particularly snubbed. You know what I mean?
First time in 21 years that LeBron James is not an NBA starter, by the way, in the All-Star game.
Yeah, it's about to happen, man. I mean, the guy's literally lived in the All-Star game. I think he has the most appearances in All-Star game. Most points or something like that. So, hey, LeBron's had his time, man. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, he should still make the All-Star team. Yeah, I mean, he still should make the All-Star team just off of the back of what he's done for the sport of basketball and the NBA in general. A player like that should not be in the All-Star. But then last year, I think he was a starter, and then he pulled out like last second or something, and was in like street clothes. So, bro, I'm literally saying you deserve to be in an All-Star game. So don't take the piss. Do your job. You know what I mean? Don't take the mic. You know what I mean? How about that?
Oh, goodness.
So I want to see LeBron play in the All-Star game. But, bro, we keep doing all of this, All-Star this, All-Star that. Can the players actually perform a bit, please?
Yes, indeed.
I don't care for like these half-court shots. Bro, play properly. You know what I mean? Make it a tight game. Make it somewhat competitive. So it's a watchable product.
Yeah, it's a spectacle, At the minute, it's a circus, isn't it?
Bro, I don't sound like an old head, but bro.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, they go patting up, man. I remember seeing Kobe in like a stance, smacking the floor, trying to guard LeBron and this and the other. Like D-Wade, I think like broke his nose in one of these All-Star games. But I was like, bro, like we're losing recipes.
We're losing recipes.
Losing recipes, bro. This used to mean something to me. I'm losing it, but I mean, yeah, everyone wants to be too cool and whatnot. I'm not here for that.
Side note, by the way, before we get into our final game of Stateside Report UK, episode 69, the LeBron James, he might not be an all-star, but would you want to see him 3-point contest, dunk contest? Are we, before he bows out?
LeBron in a dunk contest? Do you want him to pull something? Bro, what? LeBron in a dunk contest? I think, bro, JJ will literally come. Bro, it's in LA as well. JJ will literally walk into that stadium and drag LeBron by the ear out of that arena, bro. A dunk contest. That's a 41-year-old. Bro, you're trying to set him up for... Bro, what?
Bro, what did they say? Leave the game better than how you found it. When you came in, dunk contest was doing this. Leave the game, put the dunk contest back on the map as one of your crowning achievements, and then walk out gracefully.
That ship sailed 10 years ago.
No, matey.
10. I think you should have done it at least once.
Yeah, shame.
At least once.
Yeah, shame.
But we can't have it all, can we? I mean, we've got 23 seasons of LeBron.
Yeah.
Now we're just being selfish at this point.
How greedy.
But someone with that ability, I think he should have. But you know, some of these basketball players say, even Ant as well said, he's more of like an in-game dunker than an actual like style sort of East Bay between the legs, all of that. The little skilled dunking, because that's a different type. So yeah, maybe some of these players that are high flyers, you just won't see that. But I'd be lying to you if I said I've watched much of the dunk contest after Levine and Gordon 10 years ago. Jesus Christ.
There've been a couple good ones. Why can't I seem to remember who won those good ones that I am talking about? Maybe they haven't been that good. I don't know. Maybe I'm gaslighting myself.
It's very forgettable though. That's the thing. But it's just I remember 2016, 10 years ago, which is insane to me. But I remember going into that All-Star game.
2016 trend is doing its thing, by the way.
Facts. Yeah, I'm seeing
Good year
like
for
people
basketball.
checking out throwback. 100%. It was Toronto. I think they held it in Toronto that year, and I didn't really expect much from that dunk contest. But I'm like, you know what, man, I might as well just watch it. By far and away the best dunk contest ever. Yeah. The level was here, and obviously you want to see dunk contests like that. I mean, they've been bringing in Mac McClung and stuff, but it's like, bro,
Mac McClung is the person I was thinking of. He's been decent. He's been decent, but it's because his name is not out there. Like,
he don't play in the NBA, and that's what I think. Was it Draymond that was complaining about it on his podcast? I mean, when does this guy not complain? But you're saying something about like, I work hard to play in the NBA, so I should be in the dunk. I should be, I'll have the right to play in the All-Star games, rather than someone like a Mac McClung that's performing in these All-Star games, but then they don't play in the NBA. And he was saying that about, like, I think it was some of the rookies or something like that playing with, people that actually work hard to be the All-Star. Does that make sense?
When they tried the last year's format of the All-Star game, when it was like All-Stars and like the not rookie showcase, the second years and all that stuff, put that in the trash. Put the phrase in the bag in that regard. But I don't agree with him in regards to the dunk contest, because they've been trying for years and years to try and get real, stars, All-Stars, people with, motion to try and enter, and these guys are scared to enter for whatever reason. These guys are reluctant to enter and, put on the show for the fans. So I'm sorry, he can't have his cake and eat it in that regard, because they have tried, and I don't know what else they need to do to try and get, these big names that you want or you think deserve to be in these dunk contests, when you got people like Matt McClung that would appreciate it and would put on a decent little show as well.
Quick question. What player on a Sacramento Kings team from back in the day do you think, if I put him in a dunk contest, he'd win, or you have a good chance of winning?
Ooh.
You'd be on like the in the front row, like cheering them on, like they're your apprentice sort of thing.
Well, my team does host. They have good dunkers. Zach Levine's in there. DeMar DeRozan's in there in a minute. But you're saying from back in the day, so
even like a little throwback.
Gerald Wallace was a good dunker if you remember him. Charlotte, for a few years, Brooklyn as well. He was a good dunker. Who else was exciting back in the day? I'm trying to think, man. Dunkers was not really our thing, kind of thing, Unfortunately, we had Willie Cauley-Stein was all right dunker,
Yeah.
He was in the DeAndre Jordan type mold, in regards to big athletic big man. Ain't many. Ain't gonna lie to you. There ain't many. That's
Do
coming
you
to
think?
mind.
Do you think
Marcus
Levine can
Thornton
win it
was
now?
he was a good 3-point shooter. I say that Marcus Thornton was a good
Yeah.
3-point shooter, so 3-point contest I'd be there. But in regards to dunkers, there's not too many, you know. I'm gonna lie to you.
Do you think
I
Levine
think
could win it now if he tried?
yeah. But yeah,
Yeah.
he's had his injuries, so the bounce might not be the same. But I'd like to
Mm.
think so, though. I'd like to think he has some dunks in the chamber. If you're dunking 360, not 360s, I think he even did 360 windmill from the free throw line. If you can do that,
I think
then
so. And I think he done like between the legs from the
yeah, if you could do that, then you can do something. You can do
bro. The
something
stuff Levine was doing back in the day. Good God.
I tell you what, you boys would definitely have good dunkers back in the day. I remember Terence Ferguson.
Bro, 2K Ferg is the one I was
Yeah,
gonna pick.
good dunker. Good
Bro,
dunker. You know,
he's a
You had
slight
Jeremy Grant back in
frame,
the day
bro.
as well.
Who?
Jeremy Grant was good back in
We
his
had
day
Jeremy
as well.
Grant. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Obviously
He was a power
Westbrook as well
dunker.
in his prime.
Westbrook, of course. Yeah.
You guys have had some good dunkers on your team now.
The good old days, man. The good old
Easier
days.
times. Easier times.
Facts.
Easier
Facts.
times. Oh
Yeah,
my
but Terence Ferguson is one person. That's the reason why I asked the question to see if
God.
you had like a 2K Ferg in your archives.
Really, unless there's somebody that I'm really bugging out on. Not really. Nick Clifford of today. Watch out. I'm telling you,
Mm.
watch out for my rook. Good. He's a good dunker.
I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, watch out for my rook.
I'm talking about high flyers.
Yeah, he's up there. I'm telling you, you can get up
Like
there.
they're scraping the sky with their dunks.
Nick
Back
Clifford.
scratches.
Nick Clifford. I'm
All
showing
right.
you. I'm
All
showing you.
right.
But yeah, back in my day, Gerald Wallace. There you go. That's it, locker. There you go.
Dunks.
There you go. You know, run our test. You know,
Run our
fresh
test
off the
and a dunk
suspension.
contest. Give me a
You know,
break. I
you
have a
know,
day off. What?
defensive stance from the free throw line into a
Yeah.
dunk. Rah, there you go.
Yeah. We've lost it. We've
Ah,
lost it now.
that's a recipe we never had. I can't lie. You know.
Honestly.
Stay side up. Should we play one more game?
Let's play one more game. Let's do it.
This one, because it seems like, by the way, NBA scoring on the all-time list, moving every day. It feels like, James Harden the other week, Kevin Durant just past weekend. He's now, if I'm not mistaken, past Dirk Nowitzki, and now
He
he
has
is
passed that
sixth,
Nowitzki.
sixth on the all-time NBA scorers list, behind a one Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Crazy. When you put it into perspective, Kevin Durant, sixth, a top 10 scorer, has been obviously for a very long time, but he's very, very close to that top 5, and that's crazy. That's your goal, by the way.
I mean, like, I'm not even going to talk too much about it. We already know who Kevin Durant is. Do you know what I mean? Elite scorer. Do you know what I mean? He can score the ball in every which way. 7 foot with guard handles.
Best scorer to ever live. Best scorer to ever live.
Arguably, like I said a couple minutes ago, arguably. I
Not
mean, I haven't seen
arguably. No, no,
anyone.
no. Not arguably.
I mean,
Yes or no?
there are, yeah, I'd say so. There just isn't many, if at all, that can score the ball as easily as he could. There just isn't. I mean, what,
Yes.
4 scoring? After his first year, he run off 4 straight scoring titles. Back then when they didn't have like these exotic offenses and stuff, you had to come off pin downs and these crowded sort of paint and stuff. 20, I think he averaged 25 points for his whole career, every single season, bar his rookie season. I want to say, don't quote me on that, but something along those lines. Obviously, that's why I was trying to compare Shea to him and just say the level of scoring from those two. If you're being compared to a Kevin Durant in terms of scoring, bro, Carmelo was a great scorer, but he could only get one scoring title when Kevin Durant was putting up all those points, and the level of efficiency as well. That's what you look at when you look at KD and his scoring. Like I said, I feel like because we've seen the level LeBron's played at for so long, I think a lot of people just kind of not discredit, but they look over the level of consistency we've seen from Kevin Durant as well, from a player that had an Achilles tear, was out for a year and a half, come back and still played at such a high level. I mean, I know his player performances have not looked, the greatest, but what more can you expect from someone that's come from an Achilles injury? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, man. So shout out to KD for sixth on the all-time. He gave a good message as well to Dirk Nowitzki, another all-time scorer as well.
Bro, when he tied Nowitzki's record, he done that on a Dirk fadeaway.
Knew what he was doing, innit? Knew what he was doing.
You know what he done?
You know what he done. Student of
He
the
knew what he
game.
done.
You know what he done.
Love to see it, man. Shout out KD.
Shout out to KD. But the NBA scoring list, as I said, is getting movement all the time. You know, James Harden is ninth, by the way. I didn't even know that. I knew he was in top something, but top ninth, fairs. But I'm going to give you, similar to the last game, this player. You have to tell me who is higher on the NBA scoring list. Can you do that for me? Can you do it for the people?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's start with. I was going to start with Kevin Durant, but I don't think we should because he's up there. But shout out to him.
He's up there.
Who is higher on the NBA scoring list? Carmelo Anthony or Russell Westbrook?
Carmelo Anthony, because Melo's 11th. I want to say because Harden bumped him down one. Westbrook isn't there yet.
Final answer.
Final answer, Carmelo.
Carmelo Anthony's higher on the all-time scoring list. NBA.com does not have the actual numbers, which is really, really, really bugging me right now. So bear with me so I can actually give you the numbers as well, because I need to, put things into perspective for you. The actual numbers that are in front of us. Bear with me. Yes, here we are. ESPN have your boys back. Shout out to the boys, our friends at ESPN. Carmelo Anthony, 28,000. It's round up 28,000 points. Russell Westbrook, just shy of 27,000 points.
Really, he's got 27.
He's coming, mate. He's coming.
That's a lot,
A few more explosions, he can pass 14th. I will not tell you who is at 14th, just for sake of the game. Who has more points, Stephen Curry or Vince Carter?
I want to say Vince Carter. Curry didn't really set off to start his career.
Final answer?
Vince Carter.
Vince Carter, 24th, with just shy of 26,000 points. 25,788. Stephen Curry, 26,298. He's 21st on the list. He's higher.
He's higher than Vince Carter. What's Vince doing in the league, bruv? What?
Big Vince,
Shout out Vince, man.
Shout out to Vince, man. I'm sorry, matey. Not 6 for 6 like he wanted, but it's okay.
We'll get him next time.
Get him next time, matey. Get him next time. Who is higher, DeMar DeRozan or Paul Pierce?
The truth. Give me Paul Pierce.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Paul Pierce, 26,397. DeMar DeRozan, 26,108. Notches lower. You're lucky. DeMar DeRozan, though, he's up there.
He is up there, surprisingly. I mean, I would say he scored the ball. He scored the ball.
Could score it for real.
Yeah.
Who is higher on the NBA scoring list? Kevin Garnett or Tim Duncan? Big power forwards.
Give me Tim Duncan.
Final answer.
Yeah.
Tim Duncan, 26,496 points. Kevin Garnett, 26,071 points. Timmy D's higher. He's higher. Surprise you at all or no? Timmy played for a long time.
A bit. I mean, I was looking at both of them. Obviously, KG, when he went to Boston, he then became the third option sometimes. Do you know what I mean? He obviously had to share the bulk of the points. Tim Duncan, even though, the Spurs team did facilitate the ball and stuff like that, he still anchored a lot of the offense and defense. So I kind of based it off of that. I knew we'd be splitting hairs, though, but shout out Timmy D.
Who is higher on the NBA scoring list? Chris Paul or Damian Lillard?
Give me Dame.
Final answer.
I'm not sure, but yeah, give me Dame over Chris Paul.
Now, unfortunately, I've had to go back to NBA.com for this, so bear with me. I'm just going to have to do some calculations now. Career points. Chris Paul has 23,058. career points. Damian Lillard has, let me just get the official number for you, matey. Bear with me. NBA.com. Fix up, please. Damian Lillard has just over 22,000. CP3's got him by a smidge.
I did take into account, obviously, how long CP's been in the league, but then he's a pass-first point guard. But I was thinking Dame has had a few explosions in the past couple of seasons.
Wow. As you know, CP could score with the best of them, though, when he wanted to.
He could, 100%.
Good mid-range.
But then obviously with him being a pass-first point guard and Dame, then again, Dame obviously has missed a season with Achilles as well, so hasn't had time to stack up those points. But do you think Dame's going to come back look the same? Well, not the same, but do you think his career is just going to slowly just kind of fade away in Portland? Going back home?
I think the latter. I'd like to think that we've seen the best of Damian Lillard and he can still be an effective player. But in regards to, I've seen some shooting videos of him, by the way, as of recently as well. And you don't lose that shooting touch. Let's just say.
You see that Anthony Simons performance, 39 points?
Yeah, splitting image, man. Splitting image. That's
It's beautiful to see, man. When you watch basketball like that, you're like,
that's straight from the Lillard University, mate.
Right.
I'm telling you.
The pound dribble three. It's like I've seen that somewhere.
Honestly. But in regards to seeing that Dame ever again, probably not. But it's okay, fade away in Portland. Nothing wrong with that. Hopefully they put a team around him now that could maybe compete in the West. Like they're on their way, by the way. They're on their way.
They are 100%. They are. But it's like obviously what I said. Having Dame back in Portland, like being the ears of like these young players, just will do them the world again. Give them that confidence.
Sure, man. Sure. Good game. Enjoyed it very much. Some surprises there. A few people that shocked me, a few people that didn't. But no. Thank you for listening to episode 69 of the Stateside Report UK.
Great number.
Great number. Yeah, no. Please like, share, comment, rate, subscribe. All that jazzy stuff. NBA London was fantastic.
It was a success.
Me and Stacey are back again next week.
Same time next week.
As you do.
A lot less jaded.
Yes.
This felt like a back-to-back.
It did. It did, 100%. But we got there. You know what I mean?
We always do.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. Take it easy, lads. We'll see you soon. We'll see you next week.
Of course. Another milestone, episode 78 on the way.
Oh, yeah.